It's almost been exactly 1 year since taking delivery of Luna, and it's safe to say we have gotten around to plenty of adventures. I'm currently on a short trip to San Diego from Utah, where I got some new Illuminous upgrades. As we work our way back to Salt Lake City, we stop at Joshua Tree and the Valley of Fire. Good morning, squad, from the Joshua Tree Desert, right outside the national park here. As you can see, it's just one of those beautiful mornings. I think it's like 70 degrees. I had just been traveling for about the past like 2.5 days down to San Diego. Had some work done on the van, so it feels incredible to just find a nice quiet campsite like I had last night and just be able to enjoy Luna almost for the very first time since I finished building her, which is crazy to me. It's also about 100 degrees yesterday, and so it stayed really warm in the van here, basically till like the middle of the night. So I now have experience in the van both during like below zero weather and now like above 100 degree weather. So kind of cool to get both worlds. Best of both worlds, is what I'm trying to say. These are some of the new upgrades I made to the van here. These are the Illuminous boxes I talked about in the last episode. Is the reason why I went to San Diego. I really need to think about what I want to put in here and like how to properly pack it. But for now, just get some stuff out of the van, like shoes, some oil. It's 6:34 in the morning. I'm like doing chores. It feels later than that, but. The plan for today, guys, is to head into Joshua Tree and try to explore before it gets too hot. I made it to the Hidden Valley picnic area trailhead. I went to do Ryan Mountain, which is a hike where I can get on top and sort of overlook the park, but I couldn't find a parking spot. Even getting a spot here at Hidden Valley was a little bit difficult. I had been driving for like 40 miles and I'm like, I don't want to just drive all day here, so I think Hidden Valley should be pretty cool. I think it's a pretty family-friendly hike, but I just want to get outside and explore, so I am gonna drop all of these window curtains though before I go out. They do so well in keeping it like pretty cool in here, especially when I put the ones on the front of the dashboard, so it's gonna go dark in here, but it should stay pretty cool in here when we get back. I almost feel like it's cooler up where I am right now. It's really not that hot out at all. It's like warmer where we were at camp like 2 hours ago. So this is a pretty unique trail. I guess this is where old cattlers or something would bring and hide the cattle that they stole and somehow keep it in this sort of hidden valley. I think that's where it gets its name from. Landscape here is just remarkable. I mean, these rock formations are truly one of a kind. Southern Utah has its own red rocks and stuff like that, but these rocks are just really crazy. And then it would combine with all like the Joshua trees as well. This area is pretty cool. Trail actually isn't too crowded once you kind of get going.
Well, they weren't kidding when they say it's about a mile. I think I clocked it at like 0.9 of a mile, so just under that. Went by pretty quick. But that was a pretty cool area. I think we have plenty of time to go see something else. So I have a map here from like 3 years ago, which I'm sure it's all the same. But I don't know, there's a place called Keys View, which seems like it might be like a drive point. It says it's overlook, which could be cool. This park is actually really big. It's a lot bigger than I remember it being. It's a lot bigger than I thought. I think on the map, you don't really get the sense of scale and how far everything is. So I guess we'll give Keys View a shot.
Got a little lost in the thought of you and me.
It's just a little bit windy up here, but the view is absolutely beautiful. I don't really know what you can see down here, but there seems to be some sort of life of something down there.
Try to figure out how to get my head around this, how to read between the lines. Guess that I got lost in the possibilities. Got a little lost.
It's honestly really nice that it's not super hot out. I think this wind is really helping. Although it was a little annoying being that high up. Felt like my hat was gonna fall off, but it was like a slight overcast in some areas, so the sun's not just like totally beating down on you. So definitely lunchtime. I'm gonna make a ham and cheese sandwich with some whole wheat bread, some honey mustard. Pretty good. I haven't had a ham and cheese sandwich in a long time. So for some reason when I was at the grocery store the other day, I was just felt like that would be a good lunch thing to have for this trip. So that's what we got going on. And we're just parked up literally still at the same trailhead, but it's got a nice sort of private spot here on the end. I think that's a baby Joshua tree right there, but I could be wrong.
After my tasty ham and cheese sandwich, I continued my journey north through the Mojave Desert surrounded by Joshua trees. And I mean a lot of Joshua trees.
Don't wanna play games out with the moves, don't wanna meditate. Girl, with you it's hard. Fill in the blanks, text me back, throw me a kiss instead of them tricks. Don't make it hard. I wanna celebrate, you know.
After about 4 hours, I made it back up to Las Vegas, where I stopped at a Walmart to grab some food for dinner, fueled up the van, and then continued onward to set up camp for the night. I ended up finding some BLM land just outside the Valley of Fire.
Well, that was quite the 4-hour haul up here. As you can see, the bed just about put itself down. And there's just stuff everywhere. This was just one of those trips where I was flying the drone, got groceries, everything just got bundled up here. So yeah, I made a big old plate of pasta with some meatballs, salad. So this is just one of those hearty Italian meals after 2 nights of eating tacos. 3 nights of eating tacos? 2 nights. Another warm night here on the northern end of Vegas. I think it's like 9 degrees. I'm basically just about naked.
Our togetherness, both mind and flesh.
I'm gonna take this camera, put it outside overnight, and hopefully I can capture a time lapse of the stars. If it's dark enough, which I think it is, but anyways, let's hope this works out. I haven't done this in a little while, so probably gonna be a little rusty, but I'll see you guys in the morning.
I've always been a morning person. I find something so calming about waking up with the earth and being able to coexist with its stillness. The morning light is always so rejuvenating, and one of my favorite aspects of traveling around is being able to experience the mornings in all different areas. Morning squad, I woke up and drove right to a place called the Valley of Fire State Park. It was about 10 minutes down the road from where I was. In this place, I think I've only been here once, but it is so incredibly cool. It's so beautiful. We're still during like that sunrise light, but just the views around here are truly amazing. So I came out here because I figured might as well make coffee and eat breakfast here, then kind of off the side of the road where I was parking. But just the light is so beautiful right now during the sunrise. Yeah, this is a cool place.
We're gonna do this Rainbow Vista hike here. It says we're looking across 150 million years of time, which is just pretty insane. Back when like the dinosaurs were here, untouched wilderness. Good morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Did you guys do the hike already?
No.
Just pulled over for a second.
Yeah.
Cool. Heat warning. Hiking in hot weather is dangerous and not recommended. Please be smart and safe. I remember last time I was here a long time ago, I did a hike out here. It was brutal simply because of this. You're hiking on sand, which is really hard. Anyways, do a nice short little hike here before we gotta start working our way back. Unfortunately, I've had such a good trip, such a good, 5 days in the van with Luna. It just looks hot out there though, doesn't it? Just like that digital blue sky. How was it?
It was good.
Good? Cool. Hello.
Pictures at the end are going to be good for you.
Awesome. Right around half a mile one way. So exactly 1 mile from the lot round trip, but it's a cool little overlook. I think it was well worth it for the time. Let's see here, 15 minutes to get to the end. Nice way to kind of get the legs going, but there's no shade, it's pretty exposed. So I'm sweating, but it is beautiful. That was well worth it. It always feels nice just getting out and moving. Wasn't that long round trip, but I got a lot of sweat going down. Just got the heart rate up, which is nice. I think those always speak to just how gnarly hiking out here in the Nevada desert can definitely be with the sand, and then like all those rocks surrounding just creates like this never-ending heater where the sun just radiates off the rocks and into the sand, and it's just like, before you know it, you're just like totally heat soaked. There's actually 2 huskies out on the trail there, and I just felt bad because they just seemed like they were really hot, and their owners were like kind of taking their time. Like, felt bad for the dogs because I could just tell they were tired and hot, and I don't know if they had water, but anyways, yeah, well worth it. There are a few things I do before I hit the road, especially when I'm about to drive for a long time, like I am now. The first thing I do is I make sure that the table is latched with the carabiner. If I don't latch it and I go over enough bumps, it will sort of jiggle loose and the table will fall down. It's not a huge deal because it typically just falls on the bed, but I want to prevent that so I don't have to worry about that. The next thing is that I make sure that the cabinets have the bungee across the front of them. This is more or less just a safety precaution, so I know if I go over some bumps, nothing is really going to fall out of the cabinets. They might still make some noise, but I think ultimately I am safe with these bungees kind of holding them from flapping around too much. So I have one on the back and then I have one on the front cabinets. Just make sure that the glass and all that stuff doesn't come out and smash all over the floor. Then I'll typically unplug chargers out of the wall, stuff like that. Just take them out of the actual socket. just in case any reason something shorts, or there's really no reason to have them plugged in unless I like really need to charge something. But if I need to, I'll just do that up front. So I was just charging my drone battery and I was charging my camera. So I'll unplug those for now. Then I also take my laptop out of this sleeve when I'm driving. It is really nice to put in there when I'm parked, but because of just the road, it kind of vibrates around. I don't want to damage the laptop or scratch up the wall too much. So I usually just take this out and I'll either put it in my camera bag, or I'll just put it under some pillows on the bed, and that usually works out fine. Then the last thing I do is I put up these window curtains because it just allows me to have a lot more visibility, especially the side door. That's a big blind spot in these Sprinter vans, so the windows help just give me some more room to see who's behind me, who's in my blind spots. So I typically drive with these all open, and basically I just make sure that there's nothing that is going to spill out of the van or just come crashing down, because once I have everything set, all I really focus on is driving. If I have to make some sort of evasive maneuver, or God forbid get in some sort of accident, hopefully the stuff in the back is as contained as possible, and I just can focus on the actual driving. So very important thing, just to make sure the cab is secure when you go drive. So anyways, I think we're all set. Mountain goats on the trail, or on the road, guys. Look at those two guys, little mom and a baby. Right on our way out, too. Squad, we have made it safely back here to Park City. It was about a 6-hour haul. We stopped in the middle for gas, but all in all, it was very, very smooth sailing, which is awesome. I just can't tell you guys how proud I am of Luna. There was absolutely no hiccups. I even gave her a celebratory bath when I got back home, just washed all the desert dust off her, and she just looks so beautiful. So thank you guys for watching. That was an amazing trip. I had so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the whole whirlwind of like that 4 or 5 days. So drop a comment, let me know what you thought of the video, let me know what you think of the upgrades, let me know what you think of Joshua Tree in the area. So I'll see all of you guys in the next one. Take it easy, fam. Peace out.